Good morning, and welcome to lesson 2 of our Cortisol Detox 21-day challenge experience. All right, so come into a seated posture. If you need to hit pause, grab your props, do so, and then join me here. Ideally, the hips are elevated and your legs feel supported. So we're going into, let me reset this. Um, well, I'm losing time trying to, there we go. Reset the timer. So this is a practice that is going to incorporate our movement, our pranayama, and our meditation all in one. My goal being about a 15-minute window so that you can use this multiple times through your day and in the days ahead. All right, so coming into seated posture, wearing whatever you currently have on, you don't need any special clothing. Take the hands where it feels best for you, palms up, palms down, fingers touching, whatever feels like the right fit. And for me right now, coming into this palms, hand stacked inside a palm feels right. Eyes can soften down or close. Notice your natural breaths. Not trying to change them. We want to be aware of them. Feel the body's response to the breath. And then we're moving into our Ujjayi breath. The breath arrives and releases through the nose, a constriction in the back of the throat. This is our ocean breath. Some people like to refer to it as a Darth Vader breath because it kind of sounds like that, but I do prefer the ocean breath. All right, so breath in and out through the nose. No force, natural breath. Two more breaths here with the Ujjayi breath. Release to your natural breath. Feel free to use Ujjayi as you prefer. We're going to move on with this practice. So, coming to a seated posture with the soles of the feet toward each other and the knees out wide. Now, you might like to have a little something right under the edge of your sitting bones just to keep the pelvis tilted forward. So, if you need or prefer that, then something like that little thin cushion I was using can serve, or even a folded towel or blanket. All right. So from here, we're going into an extension first. Stay here as much as you need to, especially if you are struggling with your posture and your spine has more of a C shape to it, then focus on being upright. But if it's available to you, with your next exhale, extend the body, moving from hip creases, not the waist, but down at the hip creases. And you can use a combination of props of any kind. Your pillows and blankets and cushions from around the house can serve you quite well here. We'll be here for another couple of minutes. Slow and steady breaths. Maybe bringing the forehead to rest on the back of your hands. or another prop if you have it handy. You can always place whatever props you need under the outside edges of your legs to give you support. And then on your next inhale, gently, mindfully ease your body up. We are not moving quickly with any of these um, transitions. Remember, with yin, we take our time, we hold poses for time, and we also want to move mindfully. Take the knees into the air and take a little swish side to side. And then we are moving into a half shoelace. Now, I will also offer you the option for full shoelace. Shoelace is taking, we'll start with the legs long. Cross one knee over the other. This might be where you stay. Next option, bring that foot in toward the opposite heel. This is half shoelace. And then I'm going to offer you the option for a little lateral movement, especially if you've been addressing some headaches in the body or some pain through the side of the body, including eye, ear, the side of the face, then you can add this extension to the side. Now, if you want the full shoelace, just bring that other foot in. Your knees are stacked, your feet are on the outer edges, and you have your heels in the same plane. So if one foot comes in closer to the hips than the other, then just move that one that's closer further out so that they're in equal. And then we'll inhale. Exhale. If you're going into that lateral movement, you can even take it without the arm extended overhead. Or you could take this into a twist. Either direction, I'm giving you full liberty to choose. And I think today I'm going into this twist. Just remember where you're at, what you've taken, so that you can do the opposite when you move to the other side. Allow your exhales to be longer than your inhales. Couple of more breaths here. And then we'll inhale back to center. Take a little wiggle through the shoulders, maybe cradle that top leg, and then we'll switch sides. So whichever leg was on top will now be the bottom leg. And then you ease the foot in. This might be where you stay. You might bring the other one in. You want your sitting bones to settle toward the earth. So if they don't, you might like to use this little cushion here under that top foot on this side just to get a little more balance in my hips. All right, inhale tall. Maybe you take your lateral extension to the side, or maybe you twist. Or you might stay forward and maybe even fold. All are great options. then we will slowly inhale the body back up, take any movements, and then cradle, just a little quick movement through the hips. All right. And then pedal that out, moving into supported child's pose. Child's pose will be on our hands and knees. And then we'll move the toes together, the knees away, take a little ease of the hips back. And this is where you'd bring in whatever prop you would like. It can be a rolled up blanket. It might be a bolster. It could be blocks, whatever works for you. And then melt your body down. Ideally, your forehead has a place of rest and the neck stays long. Slow, steady breaths here. Three more slow, deep breaths. After your third breath, slowly ease the body up. And we're coming, you can take a moment to bring the knees in and just roll through your spine a couple of times. And then neutral spine and over onto your sitting bones. And we're taking legs up the wall. Now, you might like to make this even more um, beneficial. So I'll give you some options. And I can see that this is taking more than 15 minutes, but you can break this up however you want. I just want to provide you with one practice that incorporates each of the components that we are teaching this week. All right, so bare minimum, you're going to ease your hips up to the edge of a wall and bring your feet into the air onto the wall, right? So this is legs up the wall. Now, if you want a little more, you can lift your hips, slide a block or a cushion of some kind underneath your sacrum, and then bringing the legs up the wall. This is very soothing for the nervous system, very healing. Ideally, you don't have to straddle a doorknob, but this just shows you that you can do what you need to do with the space that you have. So, no excuses for softening and settling. Legs up the wall is a wonderful pose when you just have a moment and you want one simple pose to help you reset and to de-stress. So give yourself another couple of breaths here. And then we'll be moving into Shavasana and our guided meditation. If you would prefer to remain here for the last pose instead of Shavasana, feel free to. And then for those who would like to come off the wall, if you do have that prop underneath you, lift your hips to remove it, and then ease your body to your side and away from the wall, moving gently and as graciously as you can. Right. Graciously doesn't mean gracefully. They might be one and the same for you, not necessarily for me. All right. So coming into Shavasana, we lie on the back. Knees can be bent in a constructive rest if you prefer that. And if you are taking that option, then you might like to have a prop or two underneath your legs. So I'm just going to slide this one in. Bend the knees to roll down. Let the legs extend if you are taking that option. And then the feet can turn out. The arms can go wide with the palms up. You might like to keep them in close. Just find what feels best for you. And then if you'd like to take a moment to reconnect with your natural breath, do so. And then after you have done that, just come into your natural breath without really focusing on it. Settle, wiggle, shift, finding stillness. And once you've settled into stillness, let your next exhale be a release of tension. You might release the tension in your muscles, maybe even take a little mental scan through the different muscles of your body. It could also be a release of tension in your mind, your thoughts, and in your heart space. As you breathe in, imagine there's a soft mist that is just lifting from your body, taking away all the should-haves, the musts, all of the things that you think you should have or must do. Let that rise in that soft mist and drift away. And as you exhale, body has released tension and melts deeper into the earth beneath you. And if you need to move on with your day, begin to take movements in your fingers and toes. If you're using this before bed, just continue this recording at this time. And once you've taken movement in your fingers and toes, bend your knees, ease any props out of the way, guide your body gently over onto your side. Oop. Take just a moment on your side to notice how you feel in your physical body, in your heart space, and in your mind. And then allow that to float away. Ease your body back towards seated. Good. Maybe hands meet at heart. Just setting the intention to take this gentleness and this graciousness with you into the remainder of your day, pausing frequently to reset as needed. Namaste. Bye-bye. I'll see you soon.